Please stop convincing prospects to work with you and start choosing them. So I got off in our school group, one of our clients asked this question. I'm going to share with you in a second, and I'm going to share exactly how I showed her to respond to this situation moving forward. Just before we dive in, if you don't know who I am, my name is Yuri Elkaim. I'm the CEO and founder of HealthPreneur. We help health practitioners build scalable practices that make more money, help more people, and by that, their time. So one of our clients was, and I'll just read this post. So she said, "I don't believe I can do it. Is this the hardest objection to handle? Definitely feels like it. Just got off a call with a prospect and everything rested on her self-belief. When I asked her what was standing in the way of her saying yes, her response was that she doesn't believe she can do it. Would love to hear your golden nuggets for our follow-up tomorrow." Okay, so this is a very, very common concern. I'm gonna before I answer this, I'm gonna share with you the 3 only objections in any decision-making process. 1, I, the prospect, do not want what I say I want. Okay, it's a nice to have, not a must have. 2, I, the prospect, don't believe I can do it. I don't believe I can get better. Okay, and number 3 is I don't believe you are the right, like you, the provider or the coach, are the right solution, or your solution will work for me. So if you notice out of those 3, 2 of those rest on the prospect. And this is why I keep coming back to the importance of unselling and selecting clients as opposed to selling clients. Remember, you are a shark on Shark Tank. You're sitting back in the chair. You have what the prospect needs. You don't have to bend over backwards. They do, right? You should not be convincing people that they can succeed when they have no track record of doing so. That's called being unethical. So what we want to do instead, and I'll share exactly my response to this, is have the prospect sell you on why they believe they can make it work. And guess what happens if they can't sell you on that? Then you don't buy. You are the buyer, not the seller. You are buying, selecting the client just as much as they think they are doing that with you. You working with them makes little to no difference in your business. Right? If you think about it, let's just break this down for a second. Let's say you make $100,000 and one client is worth $5,000 to you. That's 5% of your income. That's not a huge deal. It's even less of a deal if you have $1 million business or a $10 million business. So percentage-wise, them saying yes for working with you is like throwing a stone in the ocean. But them working with you changes their life. And it's not about being like, I'm so cool and condescending. No, it's just like, that's the reality. So how do we deal with situations like this? So here's the key. When you have a discovery call, an enrollment call, sales call, whatever you want to call it, there are 2 phases to the call. One is discovery, we call it diagnosis. And the latter third is the actual prescription, where you talk about your solution, okay? So where a lot of people go wrong is they start talking about their solution too early in the conversation, and they don't even really know if the prospect has what it takes to succeed with any solution. So early on in the call, your goal is to really identify, can I help this person? Do they actually want to get better? Do they want that number 1 objection? Like, do I really want what I say I want, or is it nice to have? Because remember, when it's a must, people will find a way. When it's a nice to have, they'll find an excuse. So if you're dealing with a lot of the shit at the end of the call, like it's too expensive, want to think about it, I'll get back to you, those are all absolute BS excuses that are not the truth, okay? The truth is the 3 big ones. Like all the other things that you hear are like the nice ways people say it, but fundamentally, the big 3 are the big 3. So you're in the conversation, you're doing some early discovery, and instead of the person saying after an hour, I don't know if I can do this, you ask early on. So I'm going to share my exact response here. So the response was unselling 101. Unselling is a big concept I've developed. Unselling 101, early in call, insert quotes. This is the actual question you're going to ask. So based on everything you've tried, why is now going to be different for you? Prospect comes in and they're saying like, I'm in this situation, You're not even talking about your solution yet. You're just talking about based on everything you've already tried. Why is now? Why is today? Why is moving forward going to be different for you when nothing else in the past has worked? They're selling you on why they can change, why things can be better now. And if they don't sell you on that, If they're like, well, like, oh man, I don't know. Like, I'm just really hoping this is it. You have to double click on that. Hey, is it okay if I just, like, I'm noticing a little bit of hesitation there. What's coming up for you? I feel there's some doubt in that answer. Can we double click on that? Get them to tell you why they're uncertain. Because I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what the price of your program is. If they don't think they can make it work, there's never going to be a sale. So when you ask the question, you're looking for 100% certain answers. So for instance, if I ask the question, so based on everything you've tried so far, why is now going to be any different for you? And they're like, no, like, that's it. Like, I've hit my breaking point. No matter what it is I have to do, I'm in, I'm going, let's go. You haven't even talked about your solution yet, but you're looking for that level of certainty and desire. 2, another example of a question you can ask. Achieving, we'll just use weight loss as an example. So achieving weight loss, or I'll just make it more, because I said achieving X isn't easy, so I'll just use plain English. Losing 20 pounds isn't easy. Are you sure you're up for this? And they're going to say whatever they say, like, yes, I booked this call for a reason. Double click on that. Why though? Let them tell you why they're up for this, right? Like, listen, you got to make some changes. We're going to have to change the way you move, how you eat, how you think. Like, are you really, really up for this? It's called selling the exit. You're pushing them away and saying, listen, like, it's so much easier to keep doing what you're doing. Like, it's so much easier to do what most women I talk with do and like get to this at some point in the future. Why not just do what they do and just get to this at some point down the line? You're giving them an opportunity early on to sell themselves out of the conversation. And in doing so, they're going to pull themselves right back into it, assuming that they're giving you answers that are based on certainty and desire. If there's a lot of like flakiness and aloofness and uncertainty, you have to bring that up. Like, if I'm getting answers from someone who's like, yeah, like, it'd be nice, like, whatever. I'm just like, can I, like, if it's okay with you, I'm not getting the sense that this is that important to you. Am I completely off base? And they're going to say, yes, you're off base, and tell me why then. Or they're like, no, it's not that important. I have a lot of stuff going on. Cool. Like, is there, like, what else? I'd love to know, like, what else is more important right now other than you solving this major health issue that you booked this call wanting to solve? Well, we've got like kitchen renovations going on right now and the holidays are coming up, and it's like, awesome. So why are we talking today? I mean, why not just push this down the line a couple more months? Why not just put on some more weight and deal with this problem even longer? I'm just trying to help you do what's best for you. Like, if you don't want to get any better, that's totally fine. I'm just trying to figure out why we're talking today, you know? So again, all I'm doing in the first part of this call is I'm listening, I'm absorbing, and I'm kind of holding up a mirror back to the prospect. Next question. And again, you don't have to ask these in order. I'm just giving you options. Like, it's like a menu, okay? So very similar to the last question, like, losing 20 pounds isn't easy. Are you sure you're up for this? Why though? The next question is kind of similar. Like, do you really believe you can lose the weight? I'm just using weight loss as an example. And they're going to say, yeah. And again, it's just like, well, you don't just go on. You don't just move on to the next question. You're not, what a lot of amateurs do is they ask the question and they're like, I got the answer I'm looking for. I got the words that came out of their mouth I'm looking for. And they move on to the next question. So, and then it's surface level. It's a no. Like, do you really believe you can achieve? Like, remember, it's a self-believing. Do you believe that you can actually lose the weight? They're going to say yes. And it's like, well, what makes you feel that way though? So it's a clarifying question. It's getting them to expand on their initial thought. Again, Amateur 101 says, do you really believe you can lose weight? Yes. I love that answer. And we move on. That's bullshit. What do you mean you love that answer? It's like you are they've checked off the box in your list of questions. Like, I love that answer. Nice. You're closer to getting into my program. No, you don't love the answer. Don't even say that if you say that, because I've heard people say that. I'm like, why are we saying I love that answer? It feels like a manipulative response. I love that answer. Yes, they answered, like, checkbox. Yes. One step closer to being in. No, I'm like one step closer to pushing them away. Please tell me why you can win. I'm only looking for people that can succeed. So, anyways, those are 3 examples of unselling questions that bring up lack of self-belief early in the call. So you go through discovery and you're having the conversation and you are assessing whether or not you can help them. Now, please understand, your job is not to enroll anyone who has a pulse or a credit card. Your job is to do what's best for the prospects. And part of that means listening to what they're saying. So listening means you ask a question and you listen to the response. You ask clarifying questions to go a little bit deeper. All this process is allowing you to do is assess, can I help this person? And do they really want help? Do they really want to get better? So you go through discovery and you're going to get to a transition. You get to border control, right? You have your passport, So when you get to border control, which is about 2/3 of the way, maybe halfway into the conversation, at that point, you're just in the back of your mind thinking, do I want to work with them? Will they succeed? Can I help them? Right? And if the answer is yes for them and yes for you, then from this point forward, you do everything in your power to enroll them. I don't give a shit if they don't have a credit card. I don't care if it's too expensive for them, assuming it's not their last dollar, obviously, but it's in their best interest. They have vocalized this, like the change that they want. Okay, like they want the change. They believe they can get better. You know you can help them. They fit your perfect client criteria. You now move into, you never talk about your solution if someone's not a good fit. It's like, hey, so based on everything we've talked about, if I'm being honest, I just don't feel this is going to be a good fit for you. And my job, as I said at the beginning, is to help you do what's right for you. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to just direct you in the direction of some free resources, and I hope those will serve you. That's how you finish that conversation. Or if they are a good fit, then it's like, cool. So based on everything we've talked about, what I'd like to recommend, if it's okay with you, is exactly how I could help you X, Y, and Z. Would that be appropriate? Perfect. And then you get into your prescription. And then at the end of the call, the lack of self-belief stuff, do I really want this? That's already been addressed in the first 20 minutes of the conversation. So you're not dealing with that stuff at the end. And if you get to the end and you are getting stalls, like I need to think about it, pray on it, talk to my spouse, go for a swim, whatever the excuse is, be like, hey, what's coming up? I'm here for you, man. And it's going to come down to fear all the time. So we call our sales process coach to close, because when you're dealing with humans, not enterprise like companies, you're dealing with emotions. You're dealing with fear of why someone's not going to move across the line. Why are they afraid? They're afraid of failure. What does that mean? Well, they don't believe they can win. They don't believe they can succeed. We've already dealt with that earlier in the call. So if it comes up at the end, after you've talked about price, it's like, hey, what's coming up for you? Well, I'm just so afraid that, I've done stuff in the past that hasn't worked. You already addressed that in the past. You already addressed that at the start of the call. But if it comes up again, it's like acknowledge and ask, okay? I completely understand where you're coming from. We talked about this, 20 minutes ago. You mentioned that now is the time, you believe you can make this work. So what's coming up for you? I'm here to support you, right? Think about, it's not you against them, it's you with them. They're sitting right beside you, arm around their shoulder, and it's like, hey, I have this business to help people just like you achieve the goals you said are important to you. Talk to me, what's coming up for you, right? And it's just fear. And then it's just gonna be cool, are we willing to step through that? The only difference between my clients and you, they had the same problems. They had the same fears and the same kind of nervousness, but they just mustered a little bit of courage to move across the line. I have a mentor that, once said, fear is wetting your pants. Courage is what you do with wet pants. And so right now I want to let you know that it's okay if you have wet pants, but now you have the choice of what you want to do with those wet pants. You can keep doing what you've been doing, or we can move forward together. What do you think is going to get you closer to where you want to go? And so it becomes a coaching conversation to help someone move through fear. But the goal in a conversation like this is to eradicate all of the objections early on. You raise them, you neutralize them, they're finished. And if they come up again at the end, they're simply smoke screens for fear. That's it. So anyways, I hope this has found you well. If you're having conversations with humans to enroll them in your work, your coaching program, your service, undoubtedly you're going to be dealing with stuff like this. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we've got hundreds of other videos to help you build a successful health business. And if you need more support on the sales stuff, we've got tons of videos on the channel. If you want to see exactly how we help thousands of our clients who are all health practitioners scale their businesses, you can check out the next video, which walks you through our $1 million model, and it'll give you a lot more clarity about how that all looks. So thanks for hanging out. Hope this has helped, and I'll see you soon.